Okay, so today I am sharing a video of my first race win. It is in the Formula V at the Circuit de Lédenon. It wasn't a 100% clean race, but it was clean enough, and I got a podium, and well, I got a win, and it was a fun race too. So let's get started. All right, here we're waiting for the lights to go off. My previous races, I had been launching this car like I had launched something else with a lot more throttle before dumping the clutch, and this was not resulting well. I was going sideways off the line. So this time, I'm giving it just a little tiny bit of gas before I get off the clutch and go. And this is an acceptable start. I am still in the lead, so I will take that. I do have, I think that is car number 9 coming up behind me. So let's see what's going to happen. He's definitely looking aggressive. Um, I know he's on my inside, but I'm guessing he's going to brake late. And so is the other car. And they're going to try and go through, but I will just take that back on the undercut. Coming up to this hairpin, I would rather have had a more defensive line, but the line I took worked, and I'm still keeping my position. Now, coming up to this kind of fast section where we have cold tires, and that's going to come into play in just a second. And yep, stupid mistake, lost it. I'm also going to sit off the track and just wait for traffic to pass. As much as I am loath to lose the positions, I really don't want to get into an accident and then, end my race. So I am now back in, let's see, in 7th position. So I've got some work to do, but this is a novice race. Odds are people are going to be crashing left and right. 11 just spun out and let me by. And I also see that there's another incident in the final turn. That's going to let me and this purple car gain on him. And one driver is going into the pits, so he must have damage and is avoiding a tow. Still a decent amount of distance between the cars ahead. And at this point, I think I am in 5th. I'm fast through these turns. These two are not. Oh, there's another incident. I had to go off track to avoid them. So now I'm at 5 incident points. That's higher than I want to be. Or actually, no, I am at 2 incident points. It's higher than I want to be at this point, but it is what it is. I'm still in the race and good to go. And this purple car is definitely a bit of a slow moving obstacle. I'm going to have to get around them quick if I want any chance of keeping a reasonable distance to the leader. But I also want to do it cleanly, and I'm not close enough. And that's also not a passing corner for me. Going a little bit wide there, but keeping it within the track bounds. And I'm going to close up and more on this turn. I'm generally pretty slow through it, although that one they did pretty well. Maybe I'm not closing on them yet. This turn, getting the exit right, you can really gain a lot of ground on cars ahead. You can just bog down the car and not have drive coming out of it. I didn't get the best drive out of there. But now we're coming up through the turns 1, 2, 3, and 4, which I treat as one big sweeper and tend to be pretty fast through them. So I am definitely closing fairly rapidly. Not close enough for any movement in this next hairpin, though. This turn is a pretty good passing corner for me. For lap time so far, I've put in a 156 opening lap with a spin out, and then a 142. I really want to be in the 139s, although with traffic, that definitely makes a difference. Here, I'm just really trying to keep this driver close enough so that I can hopefully get a run on him after the final corner. Maybe let him know I'm there, see if that would get him to make a mistake, but no actual intents of passing anywhere through here. Also not close enough to pass. In this case, I'm going to brake a little bit early because I'm not sure what they're going to do, and I want to leave room in case they just jam on the brakes. Got decent drive, but I pulled out of the slipstream way too early. Although I still got decent enough drive that I do get my front wheels ahead of them, but I'm going to have to be careful going into this turn because they are on my left. Right about now, my spotter is telling me that they are clear. That leaves me free. Opened up a little bit. And now I can take the lines that I want to take. You can see them sort of threatening to be on the inside and the right mirror there, but they were definitely not close enough for a move. I am going to take a defensive line now, though, into this hairpin, minimize the chances of them getting inside, because they definitely were thinking about it. Let's see if we can lose it here. I'm happy with that. I'm also reasonably happy with that. Little tiny bit of a gap starting to open. Opened up the gap even more through that turn. Let's see if we can't actually lose them once and for all. All right. Are coming across or up to the finish line. It looks like they lost it in the final corner, so I am free and clear. At this point, the lead car is, I think, 8 seconds ahead of me, or maybe 10 seconds. But I'm going to continue to push because there's a chance they will mess up. Novice race after all, and I want to be close enough to capitalize. So that's why I'm not going to just cruise for an easy podium. That last lap was a 139.4, so that's actually where I want it to be. I'm happy with a high 139. Mid 139 is definitely good for me. Still struggle with the braking marker on this turn. I'm always braking too late, although that time I did reasonably well. I'm terribly excited at this point. We're just kind of in cruise control, pushing, but trying to keep it clean. I'm going to close up if I can. That last corner is another one that I tend to struggle on. I'm either braking too early or too late, and then I'm always on the throttle too early. I could definitely carry a little bit more speed through that corner. It's a thing I've been working on. And now it's looking like there is going to be lap traffic ahead. This is kind of my nightmare because it means somebody who's either been in the pits for damage or has been off the track a lot. And I don't know if they're going to respect any blue flags. So it'll be fun. Only catching glimpses of them, but they are getting closer. thinking that I can reel them in reasonably quickly. See the lead car ahead. I'm also gaining a bit of ground on them. See, also that last lap was a 139.8. That is definitely acceptable for me. The really fast guys are running like 136s and 137s. Um, I do know one area that I could gain some time, but it would require shifting into fourth and a downshift. And every time I downshift in the V, it tries to kill me. So I've just been keeping my practice line that I'm happy with, well, practice gear pattern that I'm happy with, keeping it in third, because it's doing pretty well with it. We have reeled in this next car a decent amount. Still a ways away from them, but gaining rapidly. And they pulled off. I don't know if they saw a blue flag and yielded, which is so kudos, or if they just made a mistake and ran off the track. At this point, I'm thinking I'm going to be second, which I'm definitely happy with, but there's still a chance the leader could make a mistake. So I am going to keep pushing. This is also the penultimate lap. The next lap will be the final lap. Oh yay, there's another car to lap, but fortunately they spun out and they're not doing anything stupid and just gunning it back onto the track, so I'm able to get by cleanly. And look at that, the leader has spun out. I can see that they are trying to race back onto the track, so there was a little bit of a race there and there was some definite contact, although it was pretty survivable on both sides, but that was 4 incident points for both of us. And now we're on the last lap. I've got, looks like a second or two gap, so that's pretty good, but I'm definitely not going to take it easy. I'm going to keep pushing. I'm not crashing. Basically, my goal with this is just acceptable in every corner. I'm not going to take any risks, but I'm also not going to just back way off. So yeah, so that last lap was a 141.5, which in contact and having to dodge that other car is what it is. And that's the point where I could actually gain speed by shifting up into fourth. This track is actually really lenient on track limits there, and you can run all the way up on the side where the dirt is and carry a boatload of speed. But that also just doesn't feel right to me since you're well over the lines. Keeping it clean enough. They're nowhere near striking range, so I just have to not do anything stupid. And that'll work. You can also see in my rear view that pacing car went off into the gravel. It's a win for a final lap of a 139.979, which I will take.